everyone, and thank you for joining us here at USA Global TV and Radio. If you were just with us for the Spelling Bee, I hope that you have stopped laughing and enjoying yourself. We had so much fun on that show, and we're going to have even more fun on this show. This is a woman's prerogative, and I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the president, founder, and pretty much everything here at USA Global TV and Radio, where we have a fabulous team of people from across the world. Joining me today is one of our regular full-time panelists. We have to update our show graphic, and we'll be doing that. Let's welcome live from Africa, where it's almost midnight. It's JENETTA Barry and the Epiphany Process. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
I feel so sad every time when we're on this show because I'm thinking I'm preventing you from getting your sleep.
I'll make you suffer. I'll phone you at your midnight, all grumpy, going, talk to me now.
Well, I have to say that when we first started, you were in the UK, right? And then you moved to Africa. So
yeah, and that's, you know, at the moment with everything being wintertime, I'm 3 hours now ahead of everybody. So it does create a few challenges, ever so slightly. Because it would only be like 9 o'clock at night if I was still in the UK. But anyway, I'm here, and it's great to be with you all.
I'm happy that you're here. And for those of you who don't know JENETTA, in addition to doing this show, she is also a co-host on another show, which I can't even think of the name, The Art of Creating Mental Health Wealth, which we do every week. And she's also one of our expert presenters on Talking Heads. She's also one of our elevated listeners. And she's also the founder of World Jenny's Day, which we stream live for 16 hours in October. And we'll be doing that again this next year. So JENETTA, please do tell people, how do you work with them and what's the value that you can bring to them?
Oh, hello, everybody. What I do with everybody is I've worked internationally online now, helping people to really step into accurate conversation, because so often our conversation is distracted by our either over-logicalizing or our feeling overly emotional. And it's attached to a lot of what's happened in the past. So that overthinking and that over-emotional side has come in through reaction from past happenings or a past happening. And so what I help people to do is to step into bringing those distracting thoughts and feelings into manageability, open-hearted manageability, through a very special and accurate set of questions. And new conversations come out as the distraction is no longer there, and you can get right into your innate genius, your inner wisdom. And this came about after I lost my 16-year-old daughter, Jenny, on World Mental Health Day on the 10th of October, to suicide after she and I had an argument. And of course, I had to walk the walk and talk the talk after that loss. And as I say, I've helped many, many people all around the world. And USA Global TV has been the most precious platform to be able to get that message out there and help many people around the world. So it's an honor and privilege to be part of this whole platform, and also to be here tonight to share and relax a little bit as we talk about our prerogatives. Don't know if we should see a doctor about our prerogatives, but we're talking about our prerogatives.
Thank you so much, JENETTA. And I also want to say congratulations on winning this Spelling Bee round 2. So
thank you. It was such good fun.
You really have been pushing yourself today, so to take it a little bit easy. We have our other full-time panelist, MARISKA, who's joining us from New Zealand. She's running a little bit late, so we'll be bringing her on. She's a day ahead of us in New Zealand, which is kind of cool. So right now we have 2 special guests, JENETTA, and both of them have been on the platform. And Scotland has been here as a guest, and she is fantastic. We have CHERYL, MILLEN. CHERYL has been here on World Jenny's Day, but not specifically on one of our shows here. So I'm excited to welcome them and find out about how they're helping people. Let's welcome Anne Scotland. Hello. And Cheryl Millen, nice to see you both.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Welcome. We have a fabulous topic today, which is the greatest gift I can give myself. But before we actually dive into that and just start chatting and having a nice conversation, I want to spotlight each of you to share the value that you're bringing to the world and how you help people. First, we'll start with Cheryl. Tell us where you're joining us from today.
So I'm joining from Malta, and I've been 21 years in health and wellness. I teach fitness to the elderly in an active aging center, and I also am a beauty spa therapist. So I have a lot of services that I offer in my spas. And besides that, more recently, I went into life coaching, and it's more Christian life coaching. So I'm serving women online globally through my writing and articles. I have recently written a free ebook and also an e-course. So wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I'm always serving. That's my heart, is to serve others. I've had so much help over the years. People have, gone out of their way to help me. And yeah, things are moving forward.
Brilliant. Well, thank you again for being here. And I just want to clarify, we have your custom offer for transformation coaching sessions, 50% off, $120 instead of $240. Plus, they'll get your e-course, 5 Keys to Free Your Mind and Fly Like an Eagle. Here's the part I'm confused about. That's worth $250 for a free tee. Is that a t-shirt?
Sorry?
Is it free tee? Did I get a t-shirt?
A free t-shirt?
There's no free t-shirt, folks. So
no free. There's a free ebook.
Free ebook. Okay, I guess it wouldn't fit on there. All right, beautiful. Thank you very much for that. All the information is in the chat. Let's go over to Anne, Global Impact Meta Mindset. Tell us about the services you provide and the value that you bring to people. But first, where are you joining from?
Oh, thank you, Jackie. I go back and forth between California and Idaho. Today I'm in Idaho, and there's about 3 feet of snow on the ground, and I went skiing yesterday, so it was really fun. So today I am there, and yeah, I have been in the mindset and emotional wellness profession for over 10 years. I've done quite a few different things along that road, including my book, Live for Joy, which you've all seen before. And my current endeavors, I am more excited about than anything I've worked on previously. One is that over this last year and a half, 2 years, I've begun a global impact workshop and strategic coaching sessions to help people get their global impact started. If they think that they don't have enough money, or they don't have enough information, or that there'll be no one out there with the resources they need, I basically coach them through it, either in a small group of their peers or on their own, whether that's starting a local program or starting an international nonprofit. And it is so much fun. And this is my number one passion. I literally get so excited to see how quickly people make progress in an area they thought, oh, I have to wait 20 years until I'm, way retired, then maybe. So that's very exciting. And my part B to that is my Meta Mindset program, which is a big part of that, but also just a meta mindset for your life, for your business. And if we have time, we can talk about that later.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And you have a free webinar that's January the 3rd. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this is Focus on You Meta Mindset webinar. So again, if you are an entrepreneur, a coach, a speaker, an author, a creative, someone who is running their own business, and you want to take it to the next level, I've paired up with Dr. Lyman Montgomery, who's an incredible strategist for at-home businesses, individual businesses, in sales. How do you sell your product without feeling pushy and feeling yuck? So that's his area of expertise, and then mine around the mindset. So you get the mental part and the practical aspects on taking your business to the next level. And yeah, that's a free 90-minute webinar on January 3. Join us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we do have Mariska in the house. Hello, Mariska, joining us from New Zealand. Good to have you with us.
Hello.
Hello. Mariska
Hello.
is a transformation and leadership coach, and she's also my co-author for the Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor book series. Mariska, tell us how you help people and where in New Zealand are you?
Ooh, let's start with the where in New Zealand I am. I'm in Blenheim. So it is wine country and normally quite sunny. Today, not so much, but well, we'll hope that the sun will grace us at some point with its presence. As to what I do, I work with specialists and leaders. So specialists moving into leadership. I love my engineers, and I love my engineers because that's the industry I come from. And I also work with leaders moving up within their leadership space and helping them to make a little bit more sense of that human pieces that sometimes, especially engineers, don't always have a good grips on. So learning how to speak human, so to speak, is what I do on a daily basis. And then, of course, yes, book number 1 is out with Dr. Jacalyn, and we're working on book number 2. It's so much fun. You guys would just not believe it. We are singing, we are dancing, we are performing. It's fabulous.
Thank you so much. What Mariska means is for our second book, we actually have a song that we were recording. The sheet music will be in the book, and you'll be able to download the recording once we record it. So, all right, let's get started with the show. The topic again is the greatest gift I can give myself is. And who wants to start off? I'm actually going to move Mariska over here so we all match. Yay, we were all the ocean together. Who would like to start about the greatest gift I can give myself? And it could be anything, you can go anywhere with it.
Okay, so I'll start. For me, the greatest gift I can give to myself is when I step into my creative zone and I start using my creativity out of my box, out of the sides of those envelopes, and start bringing things about that are completely different, using whether it's theater or song or dance. When I'm in that zone, I feel as though I'm flying, and it's a huge gift. It's a creativity gift. So that's where I start from.
Thank you. Thank you for going first and for sharing that, especially just coming hot off the spelling bee. Anybody want to comment? Comment to Jenetta's comment or comment on your own?
I'll go. I just love what she said. I'm a creative too. So writer, actress, been a lot of things. So absolutely. And one of the number one things I've always worked with my clients on is having that creative outlet, because otherwise it's hard to be emotionally well when you're just stuck, right? And then I did have mine too, but I wanted to see if anyone else had a comment first.
You go.
That's cheating. You know that.
No pressure there. No, Anne, go ahead, share with us what the greatest gift is you can give yourself.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because I was actually thinking about this last night in bed. Isn't that great where you have the most amazing mental breakthroughs?
Yes.
Especially when you're in that zone right between sleeping and waking, and you're almost not even sure if you're dreaming. And it kind of came to me, I was like, I have a lot going on. It's the holidays, right? Everybody, like, it's crazy work, family coming in. And I was like, the number one thing I could do for myself is suspend judgment. Suspend judgment, one, on anyone else, and especially though on myself, because, we can be, most of us are kind-hearted, compassionate people, at least the people sitting here on this panel. So it's okay. We can sometimes, just make a choice to not be judgmental towards others. But what about ourselves? What about when we feel like we didn't get enough done, or we didn't make enough money in the last 6 months, or we fell short in a relationship? Or what if we were just suspend the judgment and just be? And when I thought of that, even laying in bed, I just felt so happy and peaceful. All of a sudden, I was like, no judgment.
I'm breathing a sigh of relief. That is such a great place to be. And yet so hard to do, right?
It can be, yeah, it really can. Those moments of just saying, I'm going to do it for 30 seconds or 60 seconds.
Yes, I love that.
That's how you start, right?
Bite size.
Yeah.
And it starts
exactly.
to snowball from there, hopefully. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. Mariska or Cheryl, which one of you wants to go next?
I can go if you like.
All right, Cheryl.
Mine is definitely giving myself permission to just stop and get off the wheel, because it's in that space. Like yesterday, I had a whole day, no appointments, no agenda. And I did it on purpose because I know in that space is when I get creative, when I stop and just reflect, spend time in nature, listening to the sounds, you know, that's when new songs will come and writing ideas come. And so, yeah, I really need to do that more often. I find there's always so much to do. Us women are always busy bees, aren't we? So it's really nice to just stop, take a step back, and just listen and see what's going on, you know?
Absolutely. Yes. That's a great share also. Thank you. Very nice. Mariska.
Ooh, I think for me, a gift that I would like to maybe give it more to myself. I've tried this year, and with some measure of success, is to have those periods during my day that I can think just for me, not have anybody else's thinking or anything that I need to be doing, just having some thinking time so that I can almost wash my brain out so there's no other people's stuff in there. Because I have found that when I work from that space, I'm a lot happier to work from that space. I bring so much more of me and my own creativity to whatever it is that I'm doing. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it. So during this year, I read a book, and it's a novel. So just normal story. And all the compliments to the author for the story. The way it was written wasn't my style of writing, what I enjoy. I completed the book, but it felt like I needed to almost wash my brain out afterwards, so I could just not get rid of the story because it was a good story, but get rid of the writing piece of it. And the way that it was almost like while I was reading the book, I was starting to think like the person that wrote the book. And I went, this is so odd. I normally don't even reason like this or think like this. And it made me notice even more how important it was for me to have a clear brain and to do my own thinking of what it is that I want to create or do or be in the world. So I think that would be my gift that I would like to, in the next year, even more so, give to myself.
That's really interesting. So it sounds like you started to take on what somebody else, those thoughts that were written by somebody else started to become your own, and you were acting on them.
And it's interesting, they have some research that showed, so the research that they did is for games. So gamers that plays online gaming, they tested it and they saw that when people play a game together, they start to think the same, literally. Their brains start to form the same way of problem solving and things like that. So I could actually see how the book that I was reading was influencing the way that I'm thinking, which sort of makes sense, right? It's thinking just in written form. So yeah, quite interesting how we impact one another.
Yeah, absolutely. Jenetta, we can't hear you.
The other thing that's similar to that is when actors start taking on the characters of the role and becoming the characters of the role they're acting out on. So that's very similar to reading a book and becoming that thought process. But I've never thought about it in a book before, so that's really thought-provoking.
Yeah, that is. I haven't thought about that either.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll give my share. My share is that I'd really like to give myself a break because I am on 24/7. I mean, I have my watch, I have the sleep app, and it's like disruption level very high. It's like 9 point something today. And I'm always on, I'm always working. I'd love to go and get a massage. I'd love to get my nails done and get a pedicure. I keep dreaming about it. I drive by, I'm like, I don't have time. So that's what I want to do. I want to just do some of those self-care things that I've been putting off for, I think the last time I had a massage was in March, and I don't think I've had a pedicure or manicure this year. I don't know. And I color my hair myself. I'd love to get my hair done. It would just be so nice. Maybe if people come to the house, that'd be even better. So that's that's that. So what I want to ask you next is, if you were to give yourself this gift, what would your life look like? Or how would your life be enhanced? Is everyone awake?
I'll go first for that one.
All right, I'm going to spotlight each of you this round.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Cheryl, you're on.
Oh, okay, no problem. Well, for me, it's definitely I'd be more in peace when I have the time for myself to just stop running on the wheel. I'm much more in peace, and I become much more creative and better to be around.
So, Cheryl, when you have this creativity, well, how will that manifest itself? What do you see happening as a result of peace and creativity for you?
I receive from God the ideas. Something will just drop in my spirit, and then I'll know what to do. You know, there's lots of things that might be pending, not knowing what to call my next course, not knowing what song to write, or what I'm going to call my next article, and things just come when I'm in the nature. It's just the best. I love that.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Beautiful. Let's go over to Anne, our other guest for today.
Wow. Suspending judgment, I think for starters, it would reduce any stress and anxiety that I carry. I'm a type A firstborn Capricorn, if you like, driven, a recovering perfectionist. So it's easy to basically be in a state of judgment constantly, you know, in my waking hours, and even in my dreams. You know, you have those dreams where you're missing the plane, or you're too late for the exam, or so it's always, you know, pushing. So yeah, I think just being okay to be. It's okay to be. It's okay to enjoy my life. It's okay to celebrate. It's okay to take a deep breath, and also, you know, I know that we all, including myself, we tend to project our experience or our emotions onto the people around us. So I know, for example, I've learned that when I'm really judgmental about myself, I tend to be, say, less patient with people in my house. So if I can suspend some judgment around myself, Cheryl just said too, it also makes me easier to be around. So I think it's a win-win.
Ed, we're not interviewing anyone in your house, so don't worry. But a question I have for you: when you're living for joy, can you share with us something concrete or tangible that you can accomplish or that will happen?
Yeah, when you're living for joy, the shackles just start falling off. The feeling that you have to somehow still live by the criteria that was laid out for you as a child or growing up, that you should keep quiet more often, or you know, oh, I don't look right, or I'm not saying it right. You just the greatest thing about really living in your joy is that you stop caring so much about what anyone else thinks. And I know that sounds impossible. I know I'll never be over it completely, but that is really it. It's that suspending of judgment is what lets the joy in. And then it's like, if I'm just, my life is so wonderful and blessed, and I've crazy ups and downs my whole life, but this is an amazing life, an amazing world. I get to talk to amazing people like you. It is wonderful. And just being in that joy it's revitalizing.
It's contagious too. It is. Yeah. Thank you, Anne. We do have some comments. Maria Eduardo's back with us. I think that this was from when we first started the show, because she's crying. She's laughing so hard with the spelling bee, probably, right, Maria? And Maria's in St. Martin. And our friend here from Uganda, I think that you are being interviewed tomorrow. So thank you for being with us. And also, I think a new viewer that I don't know, Heather Joy, nice to have you. We are our own worst critic. I totally get that. Let us know where you're joining from, Heather. And thank you for being here. Okay, let's go over to Mariska.
You'll need to repeat the question.
I knew you were going to ask me what the question was. The question was, when you actually give yourself this gift, how is it going to show up in your life, and what will you do with it?
Okay, so giving myself the gift of my own thoughts. I think the way that it would change, or maybe the things that would show up for me in my life, is that I'm already quite intentional with what I do and how I want to do it, but I will be even more so. And I think for me, it is really around understanding what is my thinking and what is other people's thinking, and working from there. I'm not saying that other people's thinking doesn't have value, because they do. I enjoy immensely collaborating with others. Dr. Jacqueline will attest to that. So I really enjoy it. And it is because I enjoy that mending of minds and thinking and all the juicy stuff that happens when we come together. But because I enjoy it so much, I have a tendency to be in that space maybe a little bit too much and not in my own enough. So really understanding a little bit more about what that is again as well. I think creating that sort of balance, going, yes, it's great to collaborate and do all these things with other people, but it's also good to see what it is that I'm creating on my own, and how my thinking might be evolving and changing with all these other interactions that I'm having, whether it be with people on this panel, with books, with art, with whatever it is that I'm interacting with. And then going from there. I think it would only enrich.
Thank you, Mariska. You know what came up for me about what you're saying is when you spend enough time with someone, you start to speak like them. You start to pick up some of the little innuendos that they have. Has anyone else had that happen to them?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Often.
Well, I
And
get
sometimes-
myself in trouble, actually, because what happens is when I go to other countries, like my lovely UK and also New Zealand, which I love, and I haven't been to Africa yet, just North Africa, but I'll pick up. So when I go to the UK, I'll unintentionally start picking up the accent just from the exposure.
Mhm.
And the little idiosyncrasies. You guys have so many little idioms like that just start popping out. And then my husband's like, "Don't say that. They're gonna think you're making fun of them." I'm not. I want to be them, but I'm not trying to be something. It's just happening.
You know what it is, Anne? I can appreciate that. I think here in the States, we get so tired of hearing ourselves, and then we hear people from other parts of the world. It's like, wow, that sounds like a sexy accent. I want that.
Yeah, but it doesn't even go through my conscious mind. I mean, maybe it's the actress in me. I don't know. Like it's just kind of like it's just like that. I try to give myself a break and say, you know, we've learned how to mirror and to listen, and we've learned how to absorb other people in our space and kind of relate to them in that way. And I think that's the subconscious thing that's happening there. but yeah, in general, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Malta, we I tend to switch between accents because I'll be speaking English in my British London accent one minute, and then I'll be speaking to Maltese in the Maltese English accent because I've been here 18 years.
That's good that you still have
what are you
both of them.
speaking like that for? And I don't notice it, you know.
Well, it's I think it's a skill that you can have both of those accents, that you still have them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My husband can always tell when I'm talking. I'm a West Coast girl, born in Seattle, but I lived in the South for quite a while, in Atlanta area for quite a few years. And so he'll be like, "You're talking to one of your Atlanta friends, aren't you?" I'm like, "What I say?" You know, he's like, I can just tell. He's like, as soon as you pick up the phone, you start talking with your accent. I'm like,
We want to fit in. Maria has a comment. Let's see. What does she have to say? I also do the same. My daughter always brings it to my attention. Well, isn't that nice to have it brought to your attention? Just like your husband bring it to your attention. Thanks, Maria. Lovely Janetta, close to midnight there. What do you have to say?
Yeah. When I'm in my creative zone, I become energized. My energy levels just come into a place that I didn't even know I was capable of having. I become focused. Life becomes filled with purpose, and it gives me so much pleasure to see something that's quite complicated come into place, and then people sitting there going, wow, and getting something meaningful out of what I've created. And when I'm in that zone, it feels like life and even my being is as light as a feather, and it changes perspectives. And that is why I feel it's the greatest gift, because the more I do of that, the more I can help others to do the same. And that is where, of course, World Jenny's Day has created a definite guaranteed portal to do that every single year, at least once a year. So
Beautiful.
yeah, that's
Thank you,
how I make
Janetta.
sure it happens.
Amazing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone sharing. I'm going to turn the discussion a little bit to the greatest material gift. If you were to go and buy something for yourself or ask for someone to buy you a gift and there was no price tag, what would it be? And I'll share mine just to start off. I would love to have an in-person TV and radio studio. I've actually been walking around like looking at real estate, dreaming, thinking about, yes, I can do virtual and I can be in person. So that's what mine would be. It used to be shoes and bags. And I have all these shoes and bags that I never wear. I'm like, hi, how you doing? Never wear them because I'm always here. But I don't care about that anymore. I care about technology. That's my thing that really turns me on. And also having a commercial real estate space to open a studio. Anybody else want to share about their materialistic dream? All right, Janetta.
It's only come to light now, but one of the things I was going to say, as well as my creativity, is I love spontaneity. I love things like I wake up in the morning and that night, unexpectedly and unplanned, I'm getting into bed somewhere I didn't even know I was going to get into bed. And it happened this year when I went to visit my children, and my son Neil collected me and said, oh, by the way, I've got a surprise for you. You're not going to this particular place this evening. It's to a lodge, because he was going to start working there at the beginning of the year, and nobody had been there. Suddenly I found that night I was in a total different place, bed, and I love that. So my material thing attached to that is I would love my own airplane. I can't fly it, so I'd have to have my own pilot. But I'd love to get everybody in, whoever wanted to come with me. And I say, okay, wake up and go, let's go here today. And then suddenly tonight we're somewhere else. And just the appreciation of the change in scenery and going, oh, this is so beautiful. New sheets and a different bed and a new outlook, and then hop back on my plane and go back home again, or travel the world. Or I'd love to do that.
That sounds really dreamy, and I'm glad that you clarify, because when you first said I want to wake up in a different bed, I was like, oh, that's
Oops.
Andy, I hope you're not listening. Okay. And Maria writes that she's in. She wants to fly with you, Jenetta.
Oh, Maria, come on. In Kenya, we say karibu, which means welcome in Swahili.
She said that's her material gift as well. But you added in the pilot. Okay, now you're really asking for a lot, Jenetta. You want the plane and the pilot.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to give it
if
to
you're
you.
going to do the whole, go the whole hog, do the whole thing.
Absolutely. Who else has a materialistic dream?
I can go if you like.
Yes.
But I'd love to have another room in my home so I can have a music studio. And actually, as you was talking just now, what came to my mind was I'd love to have a jacuzzi corner bath. I grew up with that at my mum and dad's house when I was a kid. Actually, it was a bungalow, little pink bungalow on Teapot Lane. And I miss a bath. I've been here 15 years straight now in Malta and not had a bath. So yeah, that would be really nice to have a luxury bubble bath again.
No, wait, I just want to clarify. You haven't had a bath in 15 years. Is that what is going on in this show? Sleeping around, no hygiene.
No good. No, I've had a new shower put in. You know, the walk-in showers.
Okay, got it. We're just having a little fun here. Fabulous. Thank you.
I think
everyone's afraid to talk now. Anne, over to you.
Well, I'm with Jenetta on travel. I'm trying not to want Jackie's, because I've never actually wanted to have the facilities, but the show is in my list of dreams. But the travel, absolutely. And what I would really love to do, cost no problem. I would like to take a year to go around the world and go to meditation retreats, to study different kinds of spirituality, have experiences like Jenetta was saying, that idea of just physically being in a new space, or a new bed, a new room, a new environment, a new body of water, right? Just kind of really bonding with those places, and also bonding with the people. Because I work in global impact, it would be an amazing to connect that to an educational and or humanitarian trip. So a year around the world, that's my dream gift.
Wow, that's a great one too. Thank you for sharing that. We also have a comment from Heather Joy. If money was no object, I would love a commercial or residential property to open a no-kill cat and dog shelter. And like Jenetta, I need an employee, also need a vet tech on staff. Wow, that's great. That is wonderful. Thank you, Heather. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so we don't have any lofty wishes here, but guess what? We're putting them out to the world and they're going to come true. What about you, Mariska?
Ooh, this has been a dream since I was very little. The one thing that I would really love materialistically is a piece of property where no matter which way I look, when I'm standing in the middle of it, I don't see neighbors at all. So it needs to be big, right? I don't mind trees, but I don't want them like right next to me. It needs to have rolling hills and grasslands and some trees, so there can be a little bit of a forest somewhere. But yes, that sort of space, I would absolutely love that. And then, of course, Jenetta, me and you will go on our travels in your airplane, and you are more than welcome to come and sleep in one of the beds in my home during the travels. With Andy, of course.
Thank you.
Or on your own, whichever way suits you best. And that I would say would be my dream. And I would, of course, love for my husband to design our house, because I know he's very passionate about that, and place a whole bunch of books, number one, and number two, artwork on the walls. So, yeah, that sort of covers it.
And what would you do with all the space? It would just, you wouldn't build on it. You would just look at it.
I will preferably have animals on it. So depending on which continent I'm on, if New Zealand, it's a little bit tricky because we don't have a lot of native animals. We have a lot of native birds. So preferably somewhere where there is animals. I really miss my African animals. So yes, animals would be roaming around like they want to roam around. But other than that, I'll have natives and stuff like that on the piece of property. Most probably a small little vegetable garden. Nothing to sustain the whole planet, more just to sustain me and maybe another house or so. That's it.
All right. There you have it. We're all putting it out to the universe. Universe, please come and reward us. Well, we're actually at the end of our show. It went by so fast. And what I'd really like you to each do is, if you have a special offer, we have webinars, we've got ebooks. If you have something that maybe you didn't put into the chat that you just came up with, hey, why don't I offer this? Put it out there right now. So the holidays, special times, people are looking for gifts. What is it that you want people to know about you and how they can contact you? We're going to start over here now with Anne.
Oh, hi. Yes. So around the Meta Mindset program that I mentioned before, that is January 3. It's a free 90-minute webinar with my partner, Dr. Lyman Montgomery. We're going to be teaching the mindset around running your business and also the practical aspects to running your business, making more money. And this is always a big thing for me in past years, learning how to make effective sales without feeling pushy or yucky. Like, how can you do that? What are the tools you need to sell effectively and grow your business? So that's January 3. The URL is right there in the chat.
That's a good one. Thank you. People feel very, very awkward about asking for money, closing business. I know I've discussed it with JENETTA and MARISKA before. It is awkward. So that's great that you can help people in those ways. Let's go over to Cheryl.
Yeah, I just wanted to elaborate on the coaching sessions. They are half price for Christmas, just $30 per session for 4. And that is to help women who are struggling through difficult transitions and they need to move forward in life. So they might be struggling with their emotional health, the mindset, they're not quite sure where they're heading. Maybe they've lost who they are. They need some help with their identity as a woman. Maybe they've been a victim of some kind. So I do a lot of work with women on that sort of thing, on mental health, also emotions. I pass through a lot myself, so I've got a lot to pass on through the training I did. The transformation I got was amazing. Lots of people have noticed the change in me. So it's time for me to pass the baton and share the strategies and tools that I've learned, which women who have already worked with me have had amazing results. And I'm just starting a website. Actually, I want to put some of those testimonies up one of these days. So hopefully I'll find time soon to get that in order.
All right. Thank you so much. And good luck with that website.
Thank you.
It's definitely important.
A lot of work.
A lot of work, this is for sure. MARISKA.
Ooh. So, for those of you that has not ordered Anna, so Lady Anna, The Adventures of Lady Anna, book 1 is out and available. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. And then, of course, if you have book 1, you need book 2, right? I mean, what's the story if you can't continue with it? So book 2 will be out in January. So you won't wait a very long time. So you can have your Christmas present, read it over Christmas period, and then get the next book in the new year. So yes, that would be, of course, a fun thing to be doing. And it is for all ages, primarily 5 to 10, but hey, you're going to read the book for the kids in any case, so you're going to enjoy it too. And then if you are a specialist or a leader that wants to up your level of human interaction, please do contact me at Mariska at journey2discover.com. Or alternatively, you can find me on LinkedIn, which I may or may not check over the holiday period.
She says that with a big smile. I'm checking 50 times a day every social media. Jenetta Barry.
Well, this is one that I've been mulling over for most of the weekend and today, and I'm in a situation over the next 2 weeks before family arrive in January, where I would like to make myself available to people over the next 2 weeks, because these holiday festivities work for a lot of people. They also don't work for a lot of people. And there are a lot of people out there who are either filled with loneliness or overwhelm or inadequacy. So anybody who would like to reach out to me, and this will be my pro bono time where I'll be able to help. It's people who are in crisis and feeling like they don't know how to take that next breath, either because they feel so isolated and alone for whatever reason, or because their expectation of what this holiday season was going to give them hasn't met up, and they're feeling as though the world is crashing around them. So anybody who's needing help over these next 2 weeks, which can be daunting for many, you're very welcome to contact me, and I will have a listening ear. And I can be contacted at JENETTA, JENETTA, at theepiphanyprocess.com. And yes, and the website is theepiphanyprocess.com. And the other thing is, anybody who'd like some distraction again over the next 2 weeks and talk matters creative with me for World Jenny's Day, also contact me. You can get hold of me at worldjennysday.com.
Thank you, Jenetta. Appreciate it. All right, this was a great show, and I really hope that you will reach out to each other, the panel here, and connect. You never know where things will go. Actually, each of you, I think, was brought here by somebody else, except for Mariska. You and I were already connected, so you never know. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you to our audience. Thank you to those of you who were engaging with us. I have one announcement, which is the show that was to come up right after this, Talking Peace Around the World, with our illustrious panel of international broadcasters, is being rescheduled to next week because one of the panelists doesn't have access to Wi-Fi today. So we will be back next week with that show. All right, that's all for now. Thank you so much to our guests for being here, and thank you to our panelists. And Jenetta, maybe just stay up all night. Just stay up.
Why not? Absolutely. I'll party on my own. You know, a silent disco.
Yeah. Take pictures and send them. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. See you again. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.